How's it? This is Isaac Fox, just your friendly neighborhood multi-dimensional being showing up authentic, raw, messy, and beautiful. This will find the people that it's supposed to find. Love you. Tell me when it's recording.
We're here. Hi.
We're here. We're live.
Hello.
How's it? Welcome back to another Wednesday workshop. I'm Isaac Box. This is
Candace Fox.
Candace Box. And today, I don't know. I didn't release a lot of content this week. There wasn't a lot of stuff, coming through. And I just figured today I'd show up and just see what came through. And what's been coming through so far is really interesting, is the energy channels in our bodies, and the different various levels of agreement and structures that we're working in this incarnation. I don't hold too much on specifics of things, but however, through the years and the studies and the things that I've done through different mentors and teachings and things like this and modalities, there's similarities that I see that come together. And so I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about the energy channels, and maybe you guys know about the chakras. There's 7 chakras. So in our academy, what we do is we have a base of understanding the 7 chakras and the 7 layers of the field. Not to be attached to it too rigidly, because there's always something to understand more completely, or a way of explaining something or seeing something that may be more true. However, as the light of what we are, is light and expansion, is coming and through the structures, okay, of the mental body, emotional body, our belief systems, our physical form, it moves through energy channels. And the 7 main ones that I've noticed are the 7 chakras. So what I do with a lot of my clients and our students is we kind of show them each chakra and whatever distortion is in there, whatever energy distortion. This is learned through life and childhood and lessons and traumas and things like this. But it turns into certain personality styles. It's very fascinating. So the reason I bring this up, did you have anything to add for that?
Keep on going, honey buns.
Cool. So the reason I bring this up is I was actually chatting with a friend of mine, and they've been doing some work, man. The last year and a half, they've really been going through it and really dissolving belief systems and moving energy. And what happens is, what I've noticed in people is there's usually a dominant and a secondary distortion pattern, usually 1 through 5, right, of the chakras. So they were going through what I would call like a 2-4. Okay, so they're exhibiting certain signs. And what's fascinating is the way that he's been talking. I was like, man, that sounds like my old dominant distortion pattern, right? Which was, for me, was that 3rd. And the fascinating thing is, because he did the work and he healed, but now he has this unconscious piece of himself that has been operating. He'd been operating from that his whole life, but he never saw it because his other ones were more prevalent. They were more on top, and that's what he was operating through. So now he's kind of with this part of himself, and he has no idea what it is or what it's doing. And I just want to let you guys know, as I let him know, it's definitely not that you do anything wrong. It's you did the work. You dissolved the dominant patterns, so now you're having new experiences and you're seeing other parts of yourself that you had been operating from unconsciously. So now you can bring and acknowledge it and dissolve that and bring that back into a skillful alignment, right? And that's all these energy distortions are. Is it's a theme for whatever soul agreement and blueprint, my soul came down here to learn through. There's just certain aspects and a certain theme, and each unskillful aspect, overcoming that challenge and moving through, brings me into the skillful aspect of that energy channel, of that theme. And, the things that I really didn't prefer actually turn out to be wonderful gifts so far in my life as I've experienced it.
Well, I just want to do a big shout out
Shout out,
to Natasha and Astra. Thank you
Natasha!
for being here. And for those of you that have gone to our courses or Healing Academy, you might hear like the familiar things, which is what we want you to remember is these energetic distortions that we operate from. And they come from our chakras because the chakras hold the blueprints of all the distortions of what we thought and believed to be true. And as we're clearing them, like the other ones do show up and it's a whole new ball game. It's not anything that you've ever necessarily dealt with before because like Isaac said, it's that unconscious piece that you didn't even know that was operating in the background because the dominant identity that you've been assuming at that time has been covering the whole of your life. And so in the past, we used to call them these wounded patterns. However, they're not wounded. You're not broken. There's nothing to fix. It's more about acknowledging these pieces and recognizing there's certain things to do in order to heal and work with those pieces so that then they dissolve and you integrate back into an alignment with yourself and you come to this oneness. And so if you are a part of this, oh, you only have 20 minutes. I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you, Natasha. I truly appreciate it because we are in this place where when you get to know your energetic selves, it really tells you a lot about your life, what you're doing, how you're doing it, if it works, if it doesn't work. And when you're aware of these channels, then you can become more aware of like where you're in the flow and not in the flow.
Yep. And the unskillful pieces, you identify those to disidentify and move more into the skillful aspect. And I mean, we dedicate a whole year with that as a foundation on it, and the other things we teach and the structures, and how to work and practice within this is quite phenomenal. But this is something that, it's funny that Astra is on too, right? Like, how'd you know, Astra, I was going to talk about this shit, right? It's funny. I'm talking about the third chakra distortion as well too. So there must be something here. So I don't know. I don't really know where to go with this anymore.
I'll take it.
Oh, you know where to go with
I
this.
know where to go with this.
Okay.
Well, a lot of the people that we come across, especially that take the school or we coach or support, are in this place that are very like empathetic. They feel a lot of things. They're not necessarily a part of the normal ways of being. They feel a little different and they're not sure how to kind of navigate the world because what they think and feel is very different from what others think and feel. And so a lot of times they attempt to fit themselves into the mold of what everyone's doing, which is let's work and do this mindless stuff, or, we just got to do things because we're doing things. However, it's painful. It doesn't work. It hits their system like, what's the point? Like, I don't get it. Like, if this is the way that life is, like, count me out. I'm out of here. This is not what I want to do. And so when we meet them, what they're describing to us is this third chakra distortion. And it's understandable, how it's developed and created, because a lot of times it's putting someone else as the authority figure over your life. And so we listen to these people or these ideas or our parents, and it doesn't ring true for ourselves. And they tell us how to do it. And we're like, why would you do it that way? It doesn't make any sense. That's like really inefficient, ineffective, and takes a really long time. I'd like to do something like simple, easily and straight to the point so that I can really enjoy my life. Because the third chakra really desires freedom, right? And so in that freedom, then they have the freedom to do and be however they want to be. However, this idea of life itself, of the systems we live within, the paradigms that we live within, really constrict that freedom. And so we feel like prisoners in our own life, right? So those of you that are experiencing this, like, you're not alone, right? You're actually a part of a larger group of awakening people that are looking at like how the world has been created and go like, what the fuck, right? It doesn't need to be like this. There's a simple, easy, effective way to live life, and it can be extremely enjoyable, and you can feel free to do what you want and enjoy yourself. So that is what we're here to teach you today, because when you open up that channel and you start to see that these things are coming through, it's like, oh, you like feel so helpless, hopeless, and it's like, how do I even navigate this world when everyone else is saying this is how we should be doing it, and we're looking at them like, no, it's not, right? And that everybody, like the majority, looks at that and they feel like this is how we do it. It's not how we do it. And as we begin to understand how it's created, what it's doing to our system, then we can become more aware and support ourselves through the whole entire process.
Well said. So I guess we're talking about third chakra.
Yes.
Man, that used to be my thing. I used to love talking about that. And now it's funny because now it's not really my reality anymore. I moved into the more
You
skillful
moved into
aspect
a
of it.
different, another distortion pattern that has been unconscious to
I
him.
did. What?
You did. And that's what we do. And that is the unraveling process to help you kind of get more into who you are. It's like you begin to learn that you have different aspects of yourself.
Mhm. So a lot of I used to love teaching the classes on the third chakra because I love my family of the dominant third chakra distortions. There's more of us than you think.
Well, Natasha said, I'm a big third chakra. Yeah. And I just heard something that really hit home was that authenticity vibrates and emanates from the body at highest frequency of what others can feel and sense. Ding.
Love it. And that's really, that's it. It's freedom and power. It's authenticity. Like the thing with the third chakra is Candace, it used to drive her crazy when we first were living together 12 and a half years ago over here in Hawaii. And we were getting to know each other. She wouldn't have to tell me something. Like I would just know because I would sense her energy. And you can just tell. Like if somebody's not saying something or they're holding something back, it's a very uncomfortable aspect, right, of life. You're just very sensitive. A lot of people call it empath. I've kind of steered away from that terminology where it's more of, for me, it's like there's something called the clairsentient channels. We get our kitty. And so I'm sensitive. It's it's like clairvoyancy or clairaudience. There's clairsentient. So I would actually feel energy in my body. And so when I owned it and I took it on as my own, that's where things would get confusing. So really the third chakra, it's your energy field. It's your sovereign space. You get to know it be in your power and your authenticity. And there's freedom in that. And then what's yours to look at and what you're actually just sensing around you. That's supposed to just move through your system. It's not to focus and look at, right? You're just letting it move through your system. And by doing that, I really understood that everything is actually supposed to move through my system like that. Even the things that are more mine for me to take responsibility and look at, it's really meant to pass through me completely. And one of the my favorite sayings, which actually came up not long ago, which was the physical mind. So the personal mind, the ego, the physical mind, the brain can actually only experience itself in the now, in the eternal now, right? So the body has its five senses, right? Taste, touch, sound, right? Well, that's experiencing the outside world, right? And it's sending signals into your brain, which then out pictures what's happening around you, right? So that can only be happening in the now. It's only meant to experience life. It's not meant to know what's going to happen or try to solve the problem of tomorrow before it even comes. And this is what we do. We give the physical mind this impossible task. So there's the true mind, which is the soul that actually understands the soul agreements and the blueprints and the belief systems that it created for itself, so it can live out its theme to overcome, right? To experience more of what it prefers. So tapping into the true mind and honoring the small self or the physical mind in what it does, but allowing it to stay in the present moment and follow what the true mind is laying out, right? So with that, the third chakra and being in my power and the clairsentient, you really start to understand and feel the flow of life. And the aspect is the third chakra is also a very mental body. So we like overthink a lot. We overthink. We're trying to solve those problems.
Rumination, yes.
And we can, I
Get
can go down
lost.
like 20 rabbit holes on this one. These are 20 different lives that we can do on how to actually work with that. However, the skillful thing for this third chakra people is we see things differently. We've always seen things differently. And because we were so used to overthinking and overanalyzing everything, and trying to control everything and keep ourselves safe and trying to keep our own power and stuff, right? We just have there's a brilliance to that aspect where there's just ways that we see things and we make them more efficient. Honestly, because we didn't have a lot of energy in our life, right? Because our energy has exploded out. And so it's like, I only did the most efficient and effective things so I could survive, right? There's still, even in that unskillful practice, there's a brilliance in that. And so we see things that are a little bit different. Or we see a system and we know how to excel it, right? So I don't know, there's just a lot of freedom in that. And if you're experiencing this, the third chakra, there's the third chakra shutdown. It's really when you don't want to do anything. When you feel like you're obligated or you have to do something, which is pretty much most of us in the values, because we're living through other people's values and we don't even know it. Many of us. So many of us have this third and we don't even know it. A lot of us have it and know it. There's just, we're never doing what we really want to do. So then we don't ever really believe ourselves to be free, right? So what really changed it for me was being being in my authenticity, being free, feeling in my own power, and then just going, man, this over here feels light. This is effortless. This isn't hard work. Let me follow this. And so you start following the flow of life. Yeah, and not using your mind to try to control everything, using it to experience and pay attention to the synchronicity of everything. And then you're just kind of in the flow and you're in your power and authenticity and you're free. And it's pretty fucking awesome. So if you're going through a gnarly little third chakra distortion, don't worry.
We got you.
Yeah.
Welcome, Barbara. Thank you so much for joining us live. And I do want to say hello to all the replay viewers when you are in this live. Thank you for being with us. So I have a little thing that I'd like to share with you, especially when you are feeling overwhelmed, a bit lost, confused. You might be feeling into other people's energies and you claim it as your own, but in actuality, like Isaac said, it's just to inform your system and then just let it go. However, we take it on, thinking that it is ours and we think we're wrong, we're bad, and then we go into a self-punishment cycle because why am I feeling this way? Why am I experiencing this? And it's because you tapped into other people's experiences. And this is the hypervigilance piece of this chakra distortion, which is where we turn out our energy channels and we like get informed by what everything is happening outside of us. And as you do that, though, you're literally tapping into all the experiences around you. I've known some of my clients to be like miles and miles out from their body, like their energy just expands out so far away that then their root chakra comes up and then they're floating and like hovering over everything, right? And if you were grounded into yourself and allowing yourself to expand in that matter and you're solid, then it's like you can have this experience that is wonderful and wild and like all-knowing. However, we do it unskillfully where we tap into everything and then we're like filled and like vibrating like this and like, I'm gonna explode. And so the trick that I'm going to share with you is called pulling in your energies. And this really helps a lot of people who are really sensitive, empathic, as well as like feeling like you kind of are out of control, right? Especially if your energy's so heightened and like you just want to crawl into bed and hide, right? That's like indications that your energy is probably all out there, you're hyper vigilant, and you're looking for all the threats. And guess what? When you're looking for all the threats, what are you going to find? All the threats, right? All the conflicts, all the threats, it will just be there because that's what you're looking for. So we want to get into a place where we pull our energies in. And the first thing to do is take your hands, do this with me. So our hands become like our satellites. Like right now it's turned out. So I'm like sensing everything outside of me, but you want to turn them in. So turn them into yourself. And as you turn them in, it almost feels like like you kind of just land into yourself. So as you turn them in, these satellites now face you, which is scanning your body for where you feel out of alignment. And as you do this, you might, because you're a third chakra distortion, you'll probably feel like, ooh, that doesn't feel great. That feels tender. That feels off. And that's for you to begin to acknowledge and understand. And then as you scan, you're almost like just allowing yourself to enter your body. Okay. And now what you're going to do is, because you're probably miles and miles out from your own body, your energy field, we're going to bring it back in. Okay. And as you bring it back in, like pull yourself like you're pulling ropes into your belly, and allow yourself to just breathe. You can close your eyes if you so wish, and just pull yourself in until you literally feel like you're locked into place. It almost is like a sigh of relief. And you're like, oh, wow, I feel more like myself. Like I don't feel that rush of energy. I feel more calm, more peaceful, and just continue to do this. And I'm going to have you do this for a moment. I'm just going to check the comments here and make sure we're all here.
Feels
And
good.
Natasha says, oh, yes, being in a humble place, a righteous place. And Barbara says, hello, friends. And Chad, thank you so much for being here today.
Chad.
The Chad. So pulling your energies in, it is now for me, because I was a little blown out. I've had some things I've been going through. So pulling myself back in. And when you're there, just place your hands on your belly and hold. And as you hold, you can just breathe into your stomach, allowing your breath to expand your belly in through your hands, and then contract in and pulling your belly button to your spine. And this is just massaging all your organs, reminding you that this is home in your body. And now it is safe to be here. I'm going to have you extend out from your perineum a root cord down both of your legs and down the center of your body into the earth, and allowing yourself to just ground in and know that it's okay to exist. You're safe here and in your sovereign space. It's like, this is your space. You get to take up this space and you are here. Okay. And you can even say, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And now as you do that, I'm going to place a beautiful golden bubble around each of you, signifying the protection of your own energy field, solidifying the boundaries, weaving anything that might be out as well, and allowing all the holes to be filled, the tears to be mended, and keeping all energies out of your field. So anything that you feel now is yours and only yours. And that is what you can work with and handle, right? When you have everyone else's energy in your energy field, it feels like, I can't do any of this. And now you have what is yours, and what is yours, you can be responsible for, you can work with, and you can be safe in your own little bubble. Okay. And now, as we close and seal your energetic bubble, allow yourself to just sit here for a moment and breathe and feel the sensations running through your body. You might notice like you're way calmer, more relaxed, like everything around you has settled. Now, that's the interesting thing too, is if your energy is like really sporadic and out, it feels like the world is chaotic. However, when you bring it back in, it's almost like, it's manageable. Things have quieted. Like we're just back to the birds and the bees. So feel free to type in the comments how that supported you and if you felt like you could feel that inside of yourself. Um, this class, Barbara, every Wednesday we do different topics on different things to support our group members. And so if you're, wanting to learn more, always come here on Wednesdays and you'll learn some amazing things. And if there's anything that you want to learn about, feel free to type it in the comments because that's something that, we want to make sure is that we support you where you're at, right? With everything that's going on in your life, if there's something that you're like, I have no clue, I have no idea, I really want to learn more about this and I want guidance on it, like type it in the chat and so we can create some lives for you to support you because you, who is our community, mean so much to us and we want to support you with where you're at.
Yeah, so that's something we're really focusing on over the next few weeks is really getting people to say, hey, this is what I'm interested in. This is what I want to talk about. This is what I'm dealing with. What the fuck is this? Do you have any idea? And do you have any practices to help me out with this? And that's actually more fun for me. I love that. I love kind of the addressing people and where they are in their journey and kind of helping them and giving them practices. Chances are I've experienced something of the kind. So that is awesome. And then the other thing is anybody that wants to learn more about what their dominant and secondary distortion pattern may be and what that looks like and what the healing response is for that, you can always private message me and Candace. You can ask for sessions. Okay. We do that and we offer those for you if you want help and if you want to expand more of your awareness in your journey and more skillful practices. So these are the things we're doing now. I think next week too, I think what I'm going to put up is I'm going to actually do a post where it tells everybody like, what do you want to talk about? And I'm going to have everyone type it in the comments. So the more people that do that, the better as far as I'm concerned, because I could probably address every single comment on there. It's fun for me.
Thank you, Natasha. I'm so happy that you came here and it did feel really nice in your body. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And now you have to tend to your family and personal needs. Exactly. When you do that, you're more able to connect with others in a way that supports you and everyone else. And then you're not like, chaotic. So
Resource.
thank you. You are a resource.
Yeah, and that did feel really actually yummy. I needed that this morning too.
I know. We all do. And that's the thing is this one practice supports so many. And I always tell people to, practice it multiple times a day, like right before you talk with someone, right before you go out and about, right before you're going to have a conversation about something or someone that might be really important to you. Because when we're hypervigilant, it's like it's hard to access and be clear in ourselves and in our thoughts, right? So sometimes like for me, when this distortion showed up, I had to do it like multiple times a day. And each time it's like, okay, because it's learning to balance your own energies and harmonize them as well as take care of yourself. And in actuality, that is what a lot of the chakra is about too, is self-care, right? And when you have a good self-care practice, you are more in your body and you're more in your own experience rather than everyone else's experience, which is preferable, right? Because if you are tapped into other people and they might be going through things, then that could throw your whole day off because that connection there, and if they're feeling sad or upset, then you're like hypervigilant with that. So really, really important to kind of just tune into yourself, know when you're like all out of sorts and bring the energy back in. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I know. So there's lots of distortions here. We'll probably address the other ones because there are,
That'll be fun.
Everyone has a different dominant one that shows up at a certain time period in their life. And mine was completely different. This one showed up for me after I healed my dominant fourth. And so then when I tapped into this third, I was looking at my husband like, what's going on with me? And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. There's nothing I've understood about this. How do I work with this? And he has been the master of that. So very, very helpful when you realize, like, again, you're not alone. So if you're here in this group and you feel these energies, you are our people, and we're stoked that you're here.
And you are free, you are free, you are free.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this live today. And just so you know, we still have open enrollment for our first year cohort. We leave it open for the next couple of weeks to kind of get any stragglers, because another thing about like this third chakra distortion is they think themselves out of their true selves. And then when that happens, they get like that push and they're like, wait, I want to join. I want to do this. Like this is something that's calling me and I'm ready. And so we want to support you, those that are stragglers and that you're like kind of on the fence, not sure like if Healing Academy is for you. However, we know it's for you because otherwise, why would you be here, right? Like this is an opportunity to learn about yourselves and be guided in the practice. And then from there, it's like you can navigate the world in ways that are supportive of you and also supportive of others. So join us for our year one cohort for the New Paradigm Healing Academy, and you will definitely be amazed.
Well said.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next week. And don't forget Spiritual Clearing Friday with me, and then Workshop Wednesdays with Isaac and I. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you like this dope ass shit that I'm laying down, like, subscribe, and share. New Paradigm Healing, baby. Love ya.